Hello ladies and gents, my name's Simon, welcome back to another watch review. Today we're going to be doing the Gucci Divers watch. Again, this is a watch that I've had for 2 or 3 months now. It's been out of the box, I love it, I love wearing it, and I'll talk more about that in a second. I'll just put it all back together for you guys, just so you can have a quick look at the unboxing experience and sort of have a look at the watch. I'll be doing a quick sort of overview slash review of why I like it, why I think it's cool, and why actually, although it's a fashion brand as such, a lot of watch people will say, well, Gucci, you know, it's not a watchmaker's brand. I appreciate that. However, it is Swiss made. It does have sapphire glass, and really it is a really quality timepiece. And actually I'll speak about some of the other fashion brands in this video and why I think actually they're not particularly great for the money you pay, and some of the watches I've personally owned, and why I think this actually is a really nice timepiece to have. So anyway, let's get into it. First of all, this box here. Now this box is noticeable. It doesn't have that same finesse that you know, for example, some other watches have, or if you buy something really high-end, you know, Breitling or Rolex or whatever it may be. This is definitely, you know, it's quite plasticky, the box. It doesn't really have that same, as you can see the lid just keeps on coming on and off here, but it doesn't really have that same quality or that same feel, but it is a lot cheaper than those watches. And actually the timepiece itself, which is the most important thing of course with a watch, is actually extremely well made and extremely nice. So let's get into it. You see here, this is just simply a lid, and you've got your main box. Now the main box itself is actually a bit nicer. It's got that sort of soft touch top. It's really, you know, nicely made, very nice logo on there. You know, it's actually a great box really for a watch at this price point. So look inside, and here we have it. It's kind of a bit wonky, but this is I say Gucci Divers watch, or Gucci Dive if you like. It is a quartz movement, again battery powered movement. It's on a NATO strap, or a fabric strap. I know some people don't like the word NATO, but that's what it's sort of known as in the watch world, is a NATO strap, or a fabric strap if you like. We'll just grab it out. We'll just set it aside for now, and I'll just show you the inner box if you like. Again, you know, it's just a box, guys, at the end of the day. There's a tiny little manual here, which is essentially just a little bit about Gucci or whatever. And then there's just one main book, which comes in this sort of sleeve, if you like. So a very nice little book, nothing too fancy, you know. You don't get a cloth or a card or anything that you'd expect in a high-end Swiss watch. What you do get though is just a nice little book, some instructions, you know, a stamp from where it was purchased, with its serial number, etc, etc. Right, anyway, let's get on to the actual timepiece. Of course, this is why we're here. Here, as you can see, really nice, and I apologise about the reflection behind me. Beautiful timepieces. This is actually one of my favourite watches I own. I think it looks great. I really like the red and green that are matched with the NATO band, which is of course, that is Gucci's colours, red and green. So really looks very nice. I like the date function being a slightly different place. It is quite a big watch, this. It's 45mm. You know, a lot of the other watches I own are only 40mm or maybe even, you know, a few sort of 39mm. It's a big watch, and it's heavy as well. Now I'll take it off the little pad and just sort of show you. Okay, so here we have it. It is a standard buckle. It doesn't have a deployment clasp. You can actually get the NATO strap with a deployment clasp. However, I just wanted the standard buckle. I enjoy deployment clasps on metal watches. I don't really see the point of them on fabric straps. The back of the watch is actually completely plain. You'll see there. It's got a little bit of writing on, which, to be honest, you don't see it anyway. So, I say it's 45mm. This the actual bezel is very, very quality. It's really actually quite difficult to turn. And it definitely doesn't have that slack that you sometimes get with watches. particularly with the sort of the lower end ones, or the fashion watches, as people will like to talk about. Yeah, it's a very solid piece. Really, really nice. Nice Gucci logo there. It is water resistant to 200 meters. So you could theoretically take it diving. Again, as I said in my last video, I don't dive. I don't use my watches for sport or anything like that. But I think if you did take it, you'd be pretty okay. You'd be safe. Now, I just want to talk quickly about the fact that Gucci is a fashion brand as opposed to a Swiss watch brand, and sort of the quality. Now, this watch, it's a fair price. I think it retails for about 650 quid. Now, I realise that is a lot of money to some people, but I will say this. It has a sapphire glass face, and it is Swiss made, which I hope you'll be able to see if it focuses. Come on. Right, well, it may not focus. That's just my poor quality camera skills. However, it is Swiss made. Now, there are certain fashion brands you can buy that I have owned personally. Brands like TW Steel or Armani Exchange or whoever. And they are not Swiss made watches. They are not sapphire glass. They're very cheap cases, very cheap straps, and yet they retail for around about the same price as this. Now, of course, if you want a quality movement, you can always buy a Seiko for 50 quid. But if you want that automatic movement, but I think for the money you're paying for this, and compared to some of those brands, I mean, I had a TW Steel. I owned a couple of those. I really didn't like them at all. They were like dinner plates. I don't think they were a quality item whatsoever. In fact, I would have rather wore a Casio than a TW Steel. So I'm not a fan of those. I'm also not a fan of these sort of pseudo Swiss brands that have come out over the last few years. The likes of, you know, 88 Rue de Rhône, or the £300, or Maurice Lacroix, £300 Swiss made watches, which they sort of parade themselves as being high quality. But actually, I mean, if you actually have a look at these watches in person, I'm not insulting the brands at all. I think if you like those brands, you should buy those watches, because I think if you like something, you should buy it. But I just think that some of those brands, those sort of startup Swiss brands, don't really have the quality there, and they are just fashion watches made in Switzerland. Now, I'm sure lots of people will argue the point on that. They will say, well, you know, you're showing off a Gucci watch here. What are you talking about? But that is just my opinion. Feel free to comment about that in the comments section below. So, ladies and gents, that is the end of the Gucci watch review. As you can see there, beautiful watch. It looks good, and ultimately, as I said earlier, if you like a watch, really, it doesn't matter what brand it is. It can be a £5 Casio, it can be a £50,000 AP. It really doesn't matter. You know, you should wear what you like and what you think looks cool. But feel free to like, comment this video below, and I'll be coming back soon with some more watch reviews. As I said, some film reviews will be on the way, and any sort of topics of the day, as I say in my description. Thank you very much, gents and ladies. Goodbye.